of the journey of Lamb's Run and the entering of the infinite Nona-verse. Featuring Hugh Jubb, featuring Will Stadler, featuring an island hopping adventure, featuring killer whales, debauchery, cheese, and goats with mandibles on their neck. Truly quite the epic tale, and I really look forward to sharing this one with you. So grab yourself a beverage, grab yourself a bit of food, and without further ado, let's get into it. So, like the hit film Inception, directed by Christopher Nolan, this story starts all with an idea. And that idea was the idea of snorkeling. You know, it's probably not what you would expect to be doing in Canada, but you know, we just really we had an urge to snorkel. You know, we're keen to just get in there and explore what the underwater world had to offer. So you know, we couldn't really do this around Whistler because the lakes are very cold, and there's probably not too much interesting going on in the lake. So you know, me and Hugh, being the extremely wise people we are, decided that well, let's do a trip. Let's make a trip to Vancouver Island and the surrounding islands around there, and let's do a bit of island hopping. Let's do a bit of adventure, you know, and let's just do some solid snorkeling. Like fuck yeah, see what we can find, you know. Shit yeah, let's do it. So the trip started off in the planning stage. We had to plan what we were doing. We decided we would go down south to Salt Spring Island, then we would hop over, go back to the island, and travel up north to another island where we would hope to get some snorkeling done. So you know, we're planning. The planning stage is good. We're both very poor. So like, yeah, let's just make this as cheap as possible. A cheap trip, a cheap and a fun trip. So you know, we penciled in the dates, we booked everything, booked the ferries, and we started buying our supplies. You know, got our food. You know, we gathered all our tents, our sleeping bags, such things. And then the last thing was to buy the grog, to buy the alcohol for the trip, because you know all good adventures need just a little bit of alcohol. So we go into the old BC liquor store. We walk in, and you know, we didn't really have anything in mind. We just thought, yeah, maybe a couple beers, and then maybe a cheeky bit of rum, actually, potentially, because you know, we're going on an island hopping pirate-like adventure. You know, we're kind of being pirates here. So why not get a bit of rum? Neither of us really like rum, at least I don't really, especially besides if it's Kraken rum potentially. But we saw there was one bottle that really talked to us in particular, and that was a nice, beautiful bottle of Lamb's rum, which really hit the mark because it had pirates on it. There was like ships and nautical theme, and also it was out of respect to our good friend Oliver Lamb, who also, you know, we did lots of snorkeling adventures at like Spring Beach and Orford and stuff together with Oliver Lamb. So what a way to honour our good friend and also get a good bit of grog for the trip. Nice hearty bit of Lamb's rum. You beaut. So we left at the crack of dawn at about 6 a.m. To catch the ferry to get over to this island. Bright and early. It was a bright and early effort. Despite our efforts, we still were waiting probably about 4 hours to catch the ferry, which it is a bum out when at the start of the trip it's just hard. Like, you know, at the start of the trip it's like, fuck, this is taking too long. It's not going well. So get on the ferry eventually, get over to Vancouver Island off the coast of Vancouver, British Columbia, and we driving down south to get to our destination, Salt Spring Island, where again we have to wait for another ferry, which we just missed the one we were looking for, so we had to wait another probably hour and a half, which was nice. I mean, we had a bevy at the pub, had a meal, which is not quite nice. we eventually got on the ferry, and that's when the excitement hit us. We're like, fuck yeah, we're on holiday. We're on goddamn holiday, goddammit. So we got out at the top of Hugh's car. He had a sunroof. It's got a sunroof. Nice vehicle, that one. Got out the top of it, and on the ferry, wind blowing in our face, summer sun warming our heart. We had a nice cold beverage on the ferry, sitting on top of the sunroof, and fuck, that would definitely go down as top 25 beers for sure. And yeah, it was just exciting. It was really a good time. We got to Salt Spring Island. We fucked around at the markets, did some light shopping. Just fucking got amongst it. Real big hippie vibes. A lot of hippie vibes going on. Anyway, so we fucking around, and then we eventually like, well, we need to get to our campsite. And because we're doing this trip very cheaply, we didn't do anything stupid like reserve a campsite and pay money. No, fuck that. We wanted to just basically be homeless. So our plan was to just kind of find a patch of grass in a nice area and just kind of set up tent, and that would be that. At least that was the idea. That was the idea. So we eventually make it to where it's kind of a spot that's recognised as a campsite. Down on the coastline, a really nice spot. Nice rocky beaches. We get there, it's still plenty of sunlight to go, and we're like, yep, let's do it. Let's go for a fucking snorkel. So we didn't set up camp or anything. We just kind of got all of our stuff out and put our budgies on and got our snorkels on. Kindly provided by the Scoot Dog. Thank you, Scoot Dog, for the snorkels. And then basically, yeah, we just got to it. We stripped down, got into the water. First thought was, fuck me, this is way too cold to go snorkeling in budgie smugglers. And I think me and Hugh both thought that. So obviously the remedy of this was to have a beautiful swig of lamb's rum. So we both had a couple swigs of that, and yeah, that did a bit. We're snorkeling around, we'll see some shit, but we were both pretty fucking cold. We were probably at it for about 15 minutes, I reckon, before we were both like, nah, this is a bit fucked. It is the middle of summer, but the ocean up this far north is it's just too cold. We're pussies. Even with the hearty, warm embrace of the lamb's rum, it did get a bit too much. So we canned that off. We did all right. We had some swimming. We canned that off, then just went. We were just sitting, chilling, drinking some beers. Cooking some food. Well, no, not cooking food ain't yet. Just kind of eating some snacks. And we were gonna set up camp, but then we looked around and we decided that there was a fair few people. There was a fair few people just operating, going through these areas because we were just kind of in like a lookout area, and we decided, well, fuck, we probably shouldn't set up our tent yet, because if people see it, they're gonna get mad because we're just in a no camping kind of lookout area. They'll think we're just homeless bums, which of course is exactly what we were. It's just people didn't need to know that. So, we're waiting for the veil of darkness to set up our camp. And meanwhile, we just found a nice table. Found a nice table, and, a big priority of this trip as well was just making beautiful food. Because Hugh has this, he's got this little gas stove cooker thing, which was doing really well. And we were cooking some beautiful salmon burgers. We diced up the tomatoes and onion, just some really nice salmon burgers, and we were just sitting there, enjoying our beautiful salmon burger, watching the sun kind of start to set over the beautiful British Columbian coastline, and it was just like, wow, this is nice. Could it really get much better than that? Stupid idiot me over here. Of course it could get much better than that. Of course it could get much better than that. So I was sitting there, food was cooking on the way. Hugh started rolling up a beautiful rumple doob skin. He said, "Will, would you like a suckle of this doobie?" And I said, no Hugh, because I'm currently in a marijuana detox for a couple of weeks just to kind of reset myself. Sorry, mate, I won't have to do it, but mate, you go. And he's like, all right, you're stoked, whatever. And he starts, about to light the doob. We both cracked open a beer, sitting there in our camp chair. Food's cooking, and this boat comes kind of like into the little bay that we're at. And I was like, damn, Hugh, that's one of them whale watching boats. That's quite cool. And then he went, oh yeah, nice whale watching boat. Didn't really think much of it until about 3.5 seconds later, when a big pod of killer whales, potentially maybe at this stage 350 meters off the store, just trying to start swimming, a bit like this. They're swimming in the ocean, and we're like, holy fuck, that's killer whales. There's some fucking orcas right now. That's sick. So, and then we just fucking chilling, like, wow, this is fucking amazing. We just literally sat here in our camp chairs cooking our food, and bloody orcas had just come around. And then they start they're kind of swimming around. At this stage, they're probably about 200 meters off the shore from where we just sat, bevy in hand. Bevy in hand like this, just bloody hell, this is alright. And then the killer whales, they start fucking around like 200 meters away from us. And then the big dog killer whale, just like fucking the alpha killer whale, I guess, fucking jumps out of the water and fucking gets itself out. And then Hugh was just sitting there frothing at the gash. Hugh's like, Will, you gotta suck on this doobie right now. I was like, fuck mate, I've got to. So, I started we were just sitting there watching the killer whales jump and breach fully out of the water, fucking around, while our fish burgers were cooking, bevy and doobie in hand, sun setting, fucking get on. Top 1 beers of all time. This is fucking awesome. Yeah, so we were just watching that go down for the whole time. We just fucking fully frothing. We're like, holy shit, this is just the most amazing, beautiful thing ever. And then, it's like, fuck, this is just great. Finish our fish burgers, the orcas fuck off. And it was just it was a beautiful night for wildlife. We saw some deers that night. We saw a goddamn seagull fucking dive into the water and fucking get a crab out of it and just fucking start eating this crab alive. We saw fucking seals. It was all going on. And then finally the sun set, and we've had our burgers, we've had a couple beers, we've had a bit more Cheeky Lamb's rum. So, we're feeling pretty good. We're pretty stoned, we're pretty drunk. And then the darkness comes, and we finally like, all right, it's probably time to set up our campsite. There's not many people around here. It's quite good. Let's go set up a campsite. So driving, just around the campsite, nothing too silly. Then we finally get to the campsite, and we're wigging out. There's people everywhere, and we're like, because we baked as well. We're like, fuck, what are we gonna do? People are gonna see us illegally camping, whatever. Fuck it. We went into the veil of darkness, went underneath a tree, and we just set up our camp in the dark, and then sat there and just smoked a couple more doob skis, drank a couple more beers, and we were pretty happy to call it a night there. We slept pretty shitly that night, but we woke up feeling pretty good the next day. So we wake up the next morning feeling pretty good. No, that's a lie. We're feeling shit because, of course, the only bedding I bought was it was a green blanket. I didn't even bring a sleeping mat or a sleeping bag. Hugh was in a pretty similar boat. I think he was using a yoga mat that was about 3 millimeters thin as his sleeping mat. So we woke up a little bit sore, and we also realised our fatal error, which was that we forgot coffee. And if you know me and Hugh, we pretty inducted into the Church of the Brown, into the Church of the Morning Brown. So when we discovered that we forgot coffee, we were pretty fucking upset. But then, the wiser amongst us, whichever of the two is more intelligent, probably me. It was probably me that said, "Well, look, we don't have coffee, but what we do have is beautiful, delicious, succulent lamb's rum." So instead of coffee, we remedied it with a morning dip into the cool ocean water and a nice hearty swig of lamb's rum on the beachfront, which honestly did the trick. Um, yeah, and then so we decided that because our main goal of the trip was indeed to get snorkeling done, we weren't really happy with the amount of snorkeling we'd done so far, considering the temperatures and everything that happened. So we're like, fuck it, let's go somewhere where it's warm. So we planned to go. So we fucked our plan off a little bit, and instead we went up north to a place called Denham Island, I believe it was called, which is hailed as the Fiji of British Columbia or some fucking bullshit, because the water's nice and shallow, gets a lot of sun, so it's quite warm. So we're like, yeah, okay, sounds like a good plan. We pack up our beautiful campsite to the rising sun. We go to Salt Spring Island Cheese Company. Have some indulge in some beautiful blue cheeses. Because we're both highly addicted to it. We patted some goats. We were both highly disturbed to learn that goats have these weird fucking testicle things on their neck, which we didn't know. Hugh touched the testicle things. I didn't. He said they felt weird. I wasn't going to entertain the testicles. They were there. I wasn't going to do much about it. And then so we had another pretty long journey up to Denman Island along the highway. Something I did forget to mention was also the snorkeling. The snorkeling theme was very prevalent, obviously, in the pirate theme of this trip and all that. But another theme for us was probably my favourite band of all time, and just a really beloved band by both me and Hugh, is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, who just have about 7,000 albums. Their discography is quite large, so we said, you know what? Let's not listen to anything but King Giz on this whole fucking trip, because they're just so goddamn awesome. We're driving up the highway. I'm fucking speeding the whole way because speed limits don't exist in Canada, and we're running late. We wanted to catch the next ferry. We ended up getting on the ferry to Denham Island, and we were pretty happy. We were like, fuck yeah, this is cool. Let's find a campsite. So we drive down to the south end of the island, where we picked out this little spot on the map where we thought might be a good place to set up camp. There was a bit of fuck around getting there. There was like this massive line to get onto the next ferry, which we had to lie to kind of avoid, and we ended up getting to like a marina dock jetty, which was where we picked out for the night. And we were like, yeah, I guess we can camp here. It was like the grassy campsite for the marina jetty where people would park, go take your boat out. Seems like a good spot as any. So yet again, we didn't really want to set up our camp for until the veil of darkness. So we got to snorkeling. We got to the marina, and we started snorkeling. We're like, yeah, this is all right. The water's definitely warmer. We got out for a bit, and then we decided, you know what, Hugh, Will, it's time. It's time. So we got out our little package of tin foil that we had. Opened it up to find two beautiful, pristine tablets of acid, which we bought from our friend Keegan, from my roommate Keegan, and we ate them. Ate these tabs of acid. It was probably around 4 in the afternoon, I want to say, and we just simply waited. Well, we're getting in the water. We're waiting for the stuff to hit. We were snorkeling in the water, seeing some cool shit. I'm gonna say I started feeling the effects of the acid a bit before Hugh, because I was sitting in the water. I was a bit like, ooh, this is a bit funky. Am I having a massive fucking wig out right now? So we got out of the water. Yeah, we're just sitting on our camp chairs, just kind of watching. There was like a really big group of people, like maybe 150 metres up the beach, kind of having a bit of a party, which we didn't really want any part of, because we were just stupid dumb tourists on these islands, and these were all like local hippie spectrum looking people kind of thing. Um, so, stayed pretty clear of them, doing our own thing. The acid started to take its, started to get its tendrils amongst us. We're feeling pretty weird. So we went back up to where our car was. We were fucking wigging out. We were like, shit. There's fucking people everywhere here. We fucking tripping out on acid right now. There's fucking, they're going to kill us if we camp here. People are going to know that we're camping. They're going to kill us. But we managed it pretty well. We just started cooking some hot dogs. We ate some hot dogs. We were just talking some shit. People kind of slowly started to go away from this marina. The last of the day's docks were pulling in, and then we decided, well, let's stop feeling weird about ourselves. Let's go down to the beach. Let's sit and watch the sunset. And so that's exactly what we did. We got our camp chairs and we got our beers and we just sat on the beach. And that's when a beautiful idea blossomed again in the smarter, more intelligent member of our party. That certain member said, "Fuck, there's this King Giz album, Nona-verse Infinity, where it's a concept album by King Giz that every song links into the next subsequent song, and then the last song rewinds and begins anew, Nona-verse Infinity. So in theory, you can put on the album and you would listen to the album forever. And that's exactly what we did. We put the Nona-verse on repeat and we watched the sunset and we entered the fucking infinite Nona-verse where reality did not exist. All that we knew was a fucking beautiful sunset, shit talking, beers, and an infinite fucking Nona-verse to do it in. It was fucking spectacular. It was honestly just amazing. We were sitting watching this fucking red crimson sunset just change the colour of the clouds, listening to King Giz. Fuck yeah. Eventually the sun did go down and we both said without a doubt, fuck, we could just rewind the last fucking 2 hours. Let's just rewind the last 2 hours and do it again. So we basically did. We just basically kept the fucking King Giz going and just pretended like fucking nothing happened. We were just watching the sunset again. But eventually, we did get into complete darkness and we needed to set up camp. At this stage, we'd probably been on the acid for a good 5 hours, I reckon. So we'll past the thick of it. We'll definitely past the grunt of it. Kind of onto more of the afterglowy kind of stage now. We got our tent, we got our supplies and set up camp again underneath a tree next to a bench in the veil of darkness. We said, fuck, we need to get all the good supplies to make sure we have a good night. Which means we got a tent, we got our sleeping gear, we got all the marijuana that we had left, and all the beers and all the lamb's rum that we had left. And we sat in our tent with the fly off, just fucking hotboxing the fuck out of the tent, doob after doob, beer after beer. And with every coming of a new Nona-verse cycle, we celebrated. We celebrated the coming of a new Nona-verse by either, cracking open a beer, either fucking, I don't know, what else did we do? We drank a bit of lamb's rum on a new Nona-verse cycle. We reminisced to the Nona-verse cycles of bygone cycles. 2 cycles ago I was just drinking a beer. Now I'm fucking drinking lamb's rum. We're fucking stoned. We're just talking absolute shit, talking some good honest truths, and it was just great. It was really fucking good. We ended up just being so stoned. So we turned down the speaker. The Nona-verse was just silently lulling us to sleep in the background. And I think we both, the celebration of the last loop of the Nona-verse, we looked at the lamb's rum, the fateful lamb's rum. We said, it's time. Goodbye lamb's rum. goodbye and respect to our friend Oliver Lamb, and respect to the Nona-verse. So he sealed it off with, a beautiful kiss goodnight. And we fell asleep to the Nona-verse just slowly echoing around us. We woke up and my phone was out of battery. It died during the night. The Nona-verse had ceased to exist in the night. And it was just really good. We packed up our tent. We said, thank you, Bilmy Bay, which is where we were, Bilmy Bay. We cooked a beautiful breakfast and we fucked off. And it was just fucking solid. It was just a solid fucking bro down experience. Like, what a time. So we kissed our lambs goodbye. Said goodbye to Bilmy Bay. We got in the car and we fucked off simply. Back to Vancouver Island and back to the other ferry to bring us back to Vancouver, which we had to wait about fucking 6 hours for. But it was just a time. It was just really a good time. There wasn't much hardship. Unlike my other stories, there wasn't much hardship. There wasn't much anger, betrayal, heartbreak. There wasn't any of these things. It was just a solid time. It was just a solid bro down with a bro. And it would go down as, one of the best things. We had one beer that was definitely top 25. We had one beer that was definitely top 5 beers, one of the killer whales. And we had a beer that was top 50 beers. With the sunset and the acid. So it was like fucking goddamn. 3 solid fucking beers. Some great snorkeling. Some fucking orcas. Some cheese. Some beautiful rum. And memories that will last for the rest of our lives, I hope. So that's it. That's it really. The moral of this story, you gotta respect the lamb's rum. You gotta respect the non-and-gone infinity. You just gotta let these things consume you. You gotta let the non-and-gone consume you. And that's the draw away from the lesson. Enter the non-and-gone and fucking let it happen. Thank you and good night.